Hi, hello, welcome to Von Monk's Works and Worlds. We are on Monday, Monk. Are we on 76? I want to say 76. I'm saying 76. We're on Monday, Monk 76, somewhere around there. And I want to thank you very much for spending a little time with me here and finding me on Monday. If you found me on Monday, if you found me some other day, welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. I really do appreciate you spending a little time here with me and finding out how things are going with writing and how things are going with knitting and how things are going in Monkland. So let's dive right in, shall we? Okay, so how are we? I cover them all in that order: writing, knitting, other things going on in life. So let's start with writing. How's writing going? It is going really well, thank you. I am revising a book that I wrote, oh boy, before my Allie Beckstrom books came out. So a few years ago, people, a book I wrote quite a while ago, and I could never quite get the tone right. I think I may have talked about this last time. And I feel like I am getting the tone right. And just today, I read through the whole original version of it to remember some of the details I had completely forgotten. And I think it's going to be able to pull together into a nice, tight little book. I had forgotten I did something toward the end of it that was really fun to read because I remember thinking about doing it now that I read it, but I had forgotten writing it. And it's not as bad as I thought it was. Like, I'm sure at the time I thought it wasn't great because that's my general reaction. I write something and I'm like, man, I could make this better. But so I'm sure I said that at the time. But looking back at it now with all of this, all these years between me and it, that part of the book just rock socks. So I'm totally keeping that and sharing it with you. Oh, and how am I sharing it? I will be sharing that book because it is not like my other books. It is nor fairy tale. It is kind of funny. It's a riff on nursery rhymes and on fairy tales and the Grimm brothers and stuff. It's very different than my urban fantasy. So I am sharing that over on my Patreon, which I will link to below. And if you got my newsletter that just came out, I also have a link to the Patreon in it. And for not very much a month, you can get the installation of this book that I'm revising. I don't know if I'm going to publish this book. We'll see once it's done. I am really curious as to what Patreons think about it. And that'll have something to do with my decision of putting it out or not, because it doesn't quite fit in with my other books other than it is fantasy. But it's just kind of such a different style. So anyways, I am working on that. I am working on Wayward Devils, which is the fourth book in the Souls of the Road. And yeah, newsletter just went out. So lots of writing stuff has been going on. Patreon just got launched. So lots of places to find me. Lots of places, so many places. And that's some of what I'm doing too, making sure that I'm showing up consistently in those places. So, okay, writing's good, good. Thank you for asking. Yes. Okay, what's next? Next is knitting. First, before I go to the knit toy that I knit for this month, I'll show you that. But I have to tell you the really good news. This is such good news. The little TV got claimed by his winner just yesterday. I'm so excited, which means I get to send this little fellow off to somebody who's going to enjoy having a little TV, little old-fashioned TV. And I'm so happy. 4 months. It took 4 times posting that before somebody finally claimed him. So he finally gets a home. I'm so happy. Okay, so that's one good news. This one has not been claimed yet, and this is this month's toy. Are you ready? How's knitting going? Good. I finished the toy and gave it away in the newsletter. Let me show you the toy that I finished. It's a lumpy egg. Aren't you impressed? I have made a lumpy egg. It is very lumpy. Okay, so what's the secret to this lumpy egg? Well, if you open the top and you pull out the little fellow in there, you got yourself a baby sir. Oh man, I never hold these up right. How's that? It's a little dinosaur. Let's see if I can get him right. Here we go. That's always better to do him further away so you can see him better. He's a little dino. I think he's a Brontosaurus is what I decided. I looked up the differences between Brachiosauruses and what is it? Dip something saurus, I can't remember. And Diplodocus, is that it? That's probably wrong. And Brachiosauruses, and I decided he's a Brachiosaurus, and he has, this very cute face, pretty cute, And then the little nose, he's got a good smile. He's got little stubby legs. I think I knit one of his legs slightly shorter than the other legs, but he still stands up on his own. And this little guy, I started him on our road trip when we were going this just at the end of July to the Snake River. And we actually ended up in the Snake River in Washington to do a Hell's Canyon boat ride. He was the little project that I took along and started, and I have just got him finished. And along with him, he has his, sorry, I went off camera there. He has his little egg that has an inside, soft, cozy inside for him. And so Dino and egg, buddies, get to go to somebody. I've picked a winner's name, and we'll see if they contact me. And then if not, we will get to repick a winner, but hopefully you may be a winner if you're signed up to my newsletter. Please check your email. Remember, I ship international, so just because you don't live in North America doesn't mean that I'm not going to pick you possibly as a winner, because I do a random number generator. So whatever number comes up, I just go through my mailing list and I pick that same number on my mailing list, and that's the person that I give the toy to. So hopefully little Bronto will find himself a home. Okay. Yeah, so Bronto and Egg will be given away is given away in this month's newsletter, so check out the newsletter. Okay, so yeah, knitting is going well. I've got to pick a new toy, and I need to return the book that I got from the library for the Bronto. I need to return that to the library. Okay, and then how are things going in Monkland? Things are going well, thank you. We are still on the path of declutter, and my husband has gotten into it, and he's doing some decluttering of some really large things that we have around the house, that like outdoor things. Like today we had our pipes in our backyard, our sprinkler pipes replaced. It's just a single pipeline, and they use the wrong size spigots. They use really tall spigots that don't work for our yard. And so we replaced those. And those spigots he's offering up, like, for a really, really cheap price. But otherwise they would have just sat around the house in the barn or in our storage or in the yard. We're never going to use them. They won't ever fit what we do with our yard. And so he's making sure that they're being given away or sold at a very low price to people. And so he's doing a great job getting some really big items out of the storage and out of the barn and out of the yard, which is awesome. And I am still on the declutter path of trying to get stuff out of the storage room. I need to still go through my sewing items, and a bottom shelf of the closet, but I need to go through sewing items, which are like spools of thread and random things. So yeah, we're still on the declutter path. We're both feeling good about it. Like, it's feeling like this is a great direction. We're feeling happy. We feel like, we donated a bunch of clothes to our local Helping Hands. Again, that's an organization that lets people take clothes for free who need it. And you probably have an organization like that in your area that you can donate to. Just check online, or you can donate your clothes through your Buy Nothing Facebook groups, which are neighborhood groups that get together and you take a picture of what you have and ask, and say this is available. And somebody's like, I'd love to pick it up, and they come by and pick it up. And I did that with some items too, giving away items to people in the neighborhood who need it, which always feels really good, because that's something that they would have bought, or whether new or thrifted, but still they're being able to get it for free. And it's getting reused, right? And I just think that's fantastic. So yeah, so we're still on the declutter land, and the weather is slightly shifting. We're still in warm summer weather, but we are possibly going to get some sprinkly rain, like not heavy rain, but some sprinkles coming in. So starting to feel like that shift into autumn, and oh man, I'm ready for it. I mean, I know I'll miss the clear days. Like, it's nice to be able to walk outside and not get drenched. But I love the clouds, and I'm tired of the smoky haze. We still have smoke haze coming up from some of the wildfires, and I'm excited for the change of season. I've got to do some canning. I'm thinking peaches. If I'm really full of energy, I might do peaches. We'll see. We'll see if I get peaches done. I just want to can some back, so I'm not going to do like millions of jars or anything, but I want to can some back for smoothies and ice cream and just cold peaches in the winter. Cobblers, maybe. That sounds good, right? Yeah. So I've got a little canning to do, and we need to tend our garden a little more. Mostly just trying to keep everything green and alive in our flower beds by watering. And that's got me thinking about simplifying my flower beds, about reducing the size of them and reducing how many plants are in them and making it. I At first we were trying to make the yard, which we have a very large yard. We were trying to make all of the flower beds and everything not taken over by blackberries and ivy and just, the wild plants that are growing everywhere. Now what I want to do is downsize the beds, because fewer beds to take care of or smaller beds to take care of would be a lot easier. And so that's my goal. I've got to do some research into that. I don't actually know how to make a simpler, like less weed filled flower bed, like other than pouring concrete over everything, which I don't want to do. But like, I know there's probably ways to not xeriscape, but to maybe creeping ground cover to just get in there and take over where the weeds would normally be so that they're lower maintenance, and maybe reducing the size of the flower beds. I'm not sure. Putting in barrels or raised beds for the flower beds instead of the actual beds, bricks around it. I don't know. I want to be friendly to the bees and to the all the little pollinators and bugs and worms and whatnot, beetles and stuff. But I definitely want it to be a lot less work. I want to spend my summer doing fun stuff instead of just, I mean, I like working on the flower beds, but you hear me say that, it's work. It's not like I go out there and dilly-dally around it feels like all out war sometimes on those flower beds. So I would like it to be something that is much more maintainable. So I'm going to do some research into that. And if you have ideas, if you've done some of that or seen people do that or have, links to places online where I can find simpler flower beds or easier garden beds to keep. I'm not talking about food gardens, but just like, we have a fence between us and our neighbors, and we have random bushes and shrubs and trees and flowers and one random grapevine and stuff all back there. Is there a better thing to do along a fence line that's easier to take care of? Like, that won't get so out of control on its own too. So totally interested in that kind of stuff. Hit me up, let me know. I'm totally interested. So but other than that, yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a busy week. We had a lovely wedding in our family. It was beautiful, and weddings make me cry, and the bride was gorgeous, and the groom was handsome, and the venue was lovely. And so, yeah, that was really fun. The only thing about it is it was hot. It was a hot day. It was very hot. So I came home a little lightheaded and woozy because it was very hot. I should have drank more water. I just had some lemonade, and I was so busy. I wasn't thinking about staying hydrated. So, but anyways, it was a beautiful wedding. And so that was nice. And yeah, other than that, I think I need one more road trip. I need one more road trip before autumn hits all the way, or I'll take an autumn road trip. I need to get out and blow some cobwebs out of my head and just see some horizons and watch some miles wander by. I'm feeling the need to get out and get going. So I'm going to see if there's a possibility of running off sometime, even a short distance. I haven't seen the beach in a while, and we live, not very far from the ocean. And so I definitely want to get out there soon. And yeah, because I don't feel like I've done a lot of summer vacationing this summer. It's been a busy summer. So I'd like to take a couple days at least somewhere. Okay, so yeah, basically that's it. I know this is a very short video, but hey ho, here we are. We made it to Monday, and I'm counting that as a win. I hope you have a wonderful week, and that your summer, if it's winding down, or winter, if you're seeing this from another hemisphere, is going well, and that you're, getting excited for the change of season. I sure am. And for all you out there preparing for school, you can do it. I know it's hard, but you've got this. You can do it. Yeah, I will see you soon. Have a fabulous week. Bye for now.